Wayne, how are you?
Long time no see.
Yes.
This is great.
This is my friend Wayne. Not from Wayne's World.
No,
but
no.
Wayne from a long
Wayne's
time
Coffee.
back. Seminary days. I mean, that's going
Yes.
back years, donkey's years. And now you're up here in Toowoomba. We've come
Yes.
across you. And here he is. He's actually part of the Encouraging Cup of Coffee ministry.
Yes.
Tell me all about it. How did that happen?
Yes. Well, some years ago, I was in a job that wasn't the most positive experience. It got me up at 3:30 in the morning, which is good. I'm a morning person, but not that much of a morning person.
3:30, very
yeah,
early.
yeah.
Before the sun gets up, it was like...
You did see some nice sunrises, I must say, but that was delivering bread for a local bakery, and so that was the work was good, but pretty tough, hard on my back, and very hard to get time off, and yes, it was tough going. But I needed a change. I was crying out to the Lord for for help. I'd been in that 4 or 5 years, and then my brother he had a coffee roasting business. Kiaso Coffee.
Wow, okay. Commercial break.
In Capella Bar, South Brisbane there, Capella Bar. Very good coffee. And he and his wife had the idea that they could use a delivery van from their business that they were retiring. They could set that up as a coffee van for me. And they talked to me about that, and I got interested, and we sat down and looked at it. That didn't eventuate. However, what I can really see God's hand in that, because He really got me in a frame of mind that says maybe I could do something like this.
So it opened up an opportunity, an idea.
Well,
okay.
the biggest
sowing
things,
seeds, if you like.
Sowing seeds, very, very important. So a lot of what I'm finding, a lot of the time that we so much as possible, but we just block ourselves with lack of confidence, lack of faith, and God has so much more for us than we can begin to imagine, but we say no, it's not for me, or anything like that.
Yeah.
So that got me the idea. Yeah.
So something must have happened then for what you've got. If you look around, his van is black. It's got the Encouraging Cup on the side.
I now have a van. Yes.
Yeah, but
yes.
So this is not the van.
This is not the van that I'm talking about. No, that one wasn't up to scratch mechanically. It was a bit iffy, and they didn't want to invest in the whole refurbishment to have the van break down. But it was a good thing. It sowed the seed, but the idea was there, but it was just shelved. And then you go, probably 5 or 6 months later, and I happened to be visiting my brother in Capella Bar, and which is very interesting because I rarely did make the trip down there. We get on fine, but I just didn't travel that much. But we were visiting there on this certain occasion at this time, within 10 minutes of one of his customers coming along in a coffee van that he wanted to sell. And this fellow...
A God moment, hey?
A God moment, very much. The timing was just incredible. Yeah, he was down from Nambour. Okay, so he had to come a distance. I had to come a distance. We had to meet at Capella Bar at the same time. And he asked my brother... he was one of my brother's customers. But he said, look, I want to sell this van. Do you know anyone? And there I was. And he says, here's one. So that's fascinating.
You're talking about the day and the hour, even the minutes.
Within 10 minutes of us, I think he was.
Goodness me.
Yeah. So that was remarkable, and then it took another couple of months of weighing it up, praying about it, doing some sums, umming and ahhing. But in the end, I had to say, well, I've been asking God for something, and it's like He really did put it right in front of us. Yeah. And so I just said, well, I'll step out. Yeah. And then I thought, I'll step out.
As you did, I mean, the van obviously didn't have this Encouraging Cup. How did that come about? Yeah. Your name.
The name, the Encouraging Cup. Yes. Well, I was... we got the van. We had a friend of mine from church help to refurbish it, and that was also God's wonderful provision. He was very keen to come on board in this exciting new venture. It was an act of faith because the van was a little bit old. It is quite old, but the equipment was quite good, and I was keen to make a go of it. And we actually I had started using it for a couple of months, just in small ways. Still did the other job. I was doing both part time, And then sat down with my wife at some time with a coffee, as we do, and we said, well, what sort of name can we have? We were throwing all sorts of thoughts around, and what do we want to do? And it very simply, sometimes it's good to just simplify things down. And I said, what do we want to do? We want to encourage people. And then I think my wife came up with the phrase, the encouraging cup.
Yeah.
Encouraging cup.
But you actually take it a step further. It's not just a logo, is it?
It's not just a logo, no.
It's a ministry almost.
Yes, it's went to, again, I give my wonderful wife credit for this.
Yay. Our wives are wonderful.
They're so good. I wouldn't be here without her. And a little bit later, she had the idea that why not put an encouraging saying on the top of the cup. And I had some labels there, and it just fit. Had to be a short saying because there's not much room. But I had got my little logo, the encouraging cup, and
so what does yours say?
Mine says, "Friends are rare people who ask how we are, then wait to listen to our answer."
Then wait to listen to the answer. Isn't that amazing that today, with everyone being so rushed, it's like, how are you? And we don't even wait for the answer. It's like, we're already moving on. Yeah. But a cup of coffee ministry is like, hey, no, I'm really saying, tell me how you are. Yeah. And this one here actually says, try seeing the best in people, including yourself.
Yes.
It says, these are encouraging words. Do you sometimes put scripture into it?
Occasionally there's scriptures, yeah.
Yeah. How do people take that one?
Sometimes, there's one that says, give thanks to the Lord for he is good. That's one of my bold ones. And I don't always see what cup I'm just grabbing, let's put them on. I've got a whole range of them, over 100 different sayings. So I'll plonk that lid on there. But when I've noticed that one, I'll say, that's one of my favourites. So there's a little bit of encouragement there too. And then occasionally there's another proverb. There's better is one who rules over his spirit than one who governs a city.
Oh, yeah.
There's a few subtle ones there too.
Actually, when Wayne came and we had our chat this morning, and over a lovely cup of coffee, and spending that time to listen and connect. And but you shared with me a wonderful proverb that I think has actually helped you in your business.
Yes.
But it's actually also maybe something that everyone listening in can actually be encouraged by too, because I think we've got a lot of trouble at the moment. But this proverb actually shared something of the hope that we have. How did it go?
Yes. Well, it comes from the God who just loves to bless us.
Oh.
Really does. And it's not wrong to be open to God's blessings.
So how does it go?
Good. It says, the blessing of the Lord makes rich, and he adds no trouble to it.
And he adds no trouble to it.
Yes.
Do you know, this is the thing, is that so often you might get somewhere, but it's always with trouble, isn't it?
Yes.
But I think that's, what's that text there is where it also says, unless the workers,
unless the Lord builds the house, the labourers work in vain.
Yeah, and all of the, there's a lot of stuff that, when God's in the picture, he makes a straight path for us. He gets,
seek first, well, the Lord says, seek first my kingdom, and his righteousness. And so that's what I wanted to do with my business. So
you've made this business into a ministry.
Well, it's part of, it's who I am. I grew up in Christian family, father in mission ministry, in ministry myself. So it was always the desire to serve people in ministry was really my main drive. And the idea of being in business and making money was problematic to me. And then and whatever I want to do it under God. But then I know that that's blessing of God, that he enables us, gives us skills and abilities to have business. Because the people in full-time ministry need other people to support them. And it's a wonderful thing to be able to support as well as give and serve. And there's all sorts of ways too of serving, and the places that this coffee van has taken me is just marvellous. I have contact with all sorts of people. I can sow seeds here and there as the Lord wills. Make contact with people who having been a pastor in the past, I was limited in the people outside the church I had time to have contact with, but now I'm out there amongst it. And it's just very brief, the brief contacts, but these seeds have impact. And it's interesting, the little conversations that happen from time to time And so I keep wanting to say, okay, God, use me as you will.
So I reckon there's a little commercial break. Look out for Wayne. Look for the encouraging cup. Get yourself a lovely cup of coffee.
I'm on Facebook.
On Facebook.
The encouraging cup.
And go for that little bit of encouraging word. But more importantly, be an encouragement to somebody else. Maybe, that's that word there is not just about, having a cup of coffee with Wayne, but encourage someone else today with the little sayings that make a big impact.
A big impact, yeah.
So let's say bye, everybody, and
be encouraged.
We'll catch you around, Wayne.
Thank you. Wonderful.